Every civilization leaves behind stories. Stories that outlive empires. Stories that inspire generations. Stories that continue to echo across thousands of years. Welcome to Anuvin Stories, where history, mythology, and timeless legends come alive through cinematic storytelling. Today, we journey into one of the greatest adventures ever written, an epic that has inspired poets, kings, explorers, and storytellers for nearly 3,000 years. This is the story of the Odyssey, the story of a king whose greatest battle began only after the war had ended. The Trojan War had raged for 10 relentless years. Countless warriors had fallen. Entire kingdoms had been consumed by ambition, vengeance, and sacrifice. At last, through one of history's greatest military deceptions, the legendary wooden horse, the Greeks breached the mighty walls of Troy. The once glorious city burned beneath a sky filled with smoke and fire. Victory belonged to Greece. Among the victorious stood Odysseus, King of Ithaca, brilliant strategist, master of wit, the man whose intelligence had ended a decade-long war. But fate had written another story for him, one far more dangerous than any battlefield. With his surviving companions, Odysseus set sail across the endless Aegean Sea. His destination seemed simple: home, back to his beloved wife Penelope, back to his young son Telemachus, back to the peaceful kingdom he had left behind 2 decades earlier. Yet the sea is never ruled by men. It belongs to the gods, and the gods had other plans. His journey soon led him to a lonely island inhabited by the Cyclopes. There, inside a dark and massive cave, lived Polyphemus, a towering giant whose strength could crush armies with ease. The monster imprisoned Odysseus and his companions, devouring them one by one. Against such overwhelming power, no sword could offer salvation, but Odysseus possessed a weapon far greater than brute strength: his mind. Calling himself nobody, he deceived the giant. When the Cyclops fell asleep, Odysseus and his men drove a burning stake into his single eye, blinding the beast forever. As dawn arrived, they escaped by hiding beneath the giant sheep as they wandered from the cave. It was a masterpiece of strategy, but pride clouded wisdom. As his ship sailed away, Odysseus revealed his true identity. That single moment awakened the wrath of Poseidon, god of the sea, for Polyphemus was his son. From that day forward, every wave became an enemy. Every horizon concealed another trial. The sea carried him next to the mysterious island of Circe, a sorceress whose magic transformed proud warriors into helpless animals. Many of his companions fell under her spell. Yet through courage, determination, and divine guidance, Odysseus resisted her enchantments. Rather than destroying him, Circe became his ally. She warned him that the greatest dangers still lay ahead. Soon his ship approached waters feared by every sailor, the home of the Sirens. Their voices were more beautiful than music itself. Their songs promised wisdom, love, and every dream a human heart could desire. But every ship that followed their melody met only death upon the rocks. Odysseus wished to hear the forbidden song without surrendering to it. He ordered his crew to seal their ears with wax. Then he commanded them to bind him tightly to the ship's mast. As the haunting voices filled the air, he begged to be released. He pleaded, he screamed. Yet his loyal crew ignored every command. Because of that loyalty, they sailed safely beyond temptation. No sooner had they escaped than another horror emerged from the sea: Scylla, a monstrous creature with 6 ravenous heads hidden among towering cliffs. Each strike claimed another sailor. Every decision demanded sacrifice. Every wave demanded courage. There was no perfect choice, only survival. On the opposite side waited Charybdis, a colossal whirlpool capable of swallowing entire fleets into the depths below. Between two impossible horrors, Odysseus steered his ship with unmatched skill. One mistake would have ended everything, yet he endured. Years passed, storms scattered his fleet. Friends were lost, dreams faded. Shipwrecked and alone, Odysseus reached the hidden island of Ogygia. There lived Calypso, an immortal nymph of extraordinary beauty. She offered him eternal youth, immortality, freedom from pain, a paradise beyond imagination. Many would have accepted without hesitation, but not Odysseus. His heart belonged to another place, to Ithaca, to Penelope, to the family that had waited for him through endless years. Even paradise could not replace home. Poseidon, however, had not forgotten. The oceans erupted with unimaginable fury. Towering waves rose like mountains. Thunder shook the heavens. Lightning tore through the skies. Again and again, Odysseus found himself battling not merely nature but the anger of a god. Yet even during his darkest moments, he was never truly alone. Athena, goddess of wisdom, admired his intelligence, resilience, and unwavering spirit. While Poseidon sought his destruction, Athena quietly guided his path. She became the light that pierced the darkness, the voice that reminded him never to surrender. After 20 long years, the weary king finally reached the shores of Ithaca. But he returned not as a celebrated hero. He arrived disguised as an old beggar. His kingdom had changed. His palace had been overrun by arrogant nobles who believed their king had died. They feasted in his halls. They wasted his wealth, and each demanded the hand of Queen Penelope. Yet Penelope refused to surrender hope. Every day she wove a magnificent burial shroud. Every night she secretly unraveled her own work, delaying the decision for years. Her faith never weakened. She believed her husband would return. Finally, she announced one last challenge. Whoever could string the legendary bow of Odysseus and fire an arrow through 12 axe heads would become the rightful king. One after another, the strongest men failed. The mighty bow refused every hand. Then the old beggar stepped forward. In a single effortless motion, he strung the bow. The hall fell silent. One arrow flew with perfect precision. In that moment, the disguise disappeared. The true king had returned. Justice followed swiftly. The usurpers were defeated. The kingdom was restored. And after decades of war, suffering, sacrifice, and impossible trials, Odysseus finally embraced Penelope once again. The journey that had tested every part of his spirit had come to an end. The Odyssey is far more than an ancient Greek epic. It is a timeless story about the strength of the human spirit. It reminds us that intelligence can overcome power, that perseverance can outlast despair, that loyalty can survive temptation, and that, no matter how distant the destination may seem, hope continues to guide those who refuse to give up. Perhaps that is why, after nearly 3,000 years, the story of Odysseus still resonates across the world. Because every one of us faces storms. Every one of us battles unseen monsters. Every one of us longs for a place where we truly belong. And every journey, no matter how difficult, becomes meaningful when it leads us home. Thank you for joining us on this extraordinary voyage through one of history's greatest legends. This is Anuvin Stories, where every legend has a story, and every story lives forever.